What's going on? It's Elusive here, and we're back on the bike, as you can see, and I almost just died because that bump was insane. But today we're going to be talking about, should you daily a Supersport? So if you guys are unaware, a Supersport is basically just a sport bike. They call them Supersports, but for example, today we're on my 04 CBR 600RR, and these roads are about as good as they get. So I'm going to be discussing with you guys today because I bought this bike last year in May, and I dailied it almost every day to work. I would say almost every day. There was a few days where it rained and shit where I didn't bring it, and a few days where it was kind of cold and I didn't. But I'm going to tell you guys and incite you guys on why you should or should not buy a Supersport to daily, and this is all going to depend where you live too. In Wisconsin here, it's not really, so when I say I dailied this every day, I kind of mean I dailied it every day during summer and kind of into fallish. There's no way I'm dailying this thing anywhere after November. It's just way too cold, and if you guys have no idea what cold feels like, just ride a bike when it's 20 degrees out, and then you'll know what cold feels like. I'm not even going to talk about cold because I know I'm not in Alaska or Canada where they get below 30 every winter, so I won't talk shit. But yeah, the main reason people say you should not daily a Supersport is because of the ergonomics of the bike. So as you know, you're a lot more leaned over, you're a lot lower down, a lot more aggressive stance with your feet on your pedals and shit. So that's the main reason, is because these bikes are meant to be on the track. Like, every Supersport is a track bike. Like, they were literally designed to be doing 20-30 minute track runs, refuel, and then back on the track again. So you're really not meant to be on these bikes, designed to be on these bikes for more than 30 minutes, if I'm going to be honest. So I've only owned one bike before my entire life, and it's been this bike, and it's only been about a year now. Like I said, it's almost been a year. It'll be a year in May. But I've only owned this bike for a year, and honestly, in the beginning, it really sucked. I'll be honest. Like, trying to get used to a Supersport really fucking sucks. And if you don't believe me, just ride one. For the whole entire week, you're gonna feel like, I'm only 20 years old, so I'm still young yet, and I'm feeling it in every one of my body. So I won't lie to you guys and be like, this is going to be the most comfortable ride you're ever going to have. No, it's not going to be a comfortable ride for at least a few weeks. Even after then, if you go on rides longer than 45 minutes, you're probably still going to have problems, especially if you already have problems like back problems, you know, stuff like that. But really, if I'm going to be honest, the only thing that sucks about dailying a Supersport, after you get used to the butt pain and all that, the seats are not very comfortable. After you get used to all that, the worst part is just your back. If you can find a comfortable position to put your back in while you're riding, these bikes really are not bad at all. And from what I've heard, every biker has a problem with their right hand going numb because it's all in the throttle and stuff. But if you can get your back in a comfortable spot, or if you can get adjustable, like the clip-ons, you can get the adjustable ones that go higher, you're gonna have a great time on these, I feel like. What the fuck is going on here? Okay, now we're moving. Like, personally, I'm on the stock clip-ons, stock everything, stock seat, all that, and it's been amazing. Like, I personally only have my back hurt. That's the only thing that hurts on mine. But if I'm on stop and go traffic and I rest my back a little bit, this thing really is nice. Like I said, if you're older, or if you know you already have back problems, this is probably not going to be a great idea for you. You can definitely do it, don't get me wrong. You can definitely daily a Supersport if you have back problems. It's probably not going to feel the greatest, but you can definitely do it. I would not recommend going on any more rides longer than 20-ish minutes or so. Yeah, like I said, these bikes are pretty much just track bikes if you really think about it. Like, mine revs to 15,000 RPM. Like, who on the right mind in the street fucking needs 15,000 RPM? Nobody. That's why these bikes are mainly meant for the track. But then again, just because it's meant for the track doesn't mean you can't use it on the road, which obviously a lot of people do, including myself. the main appeal for these bikes is just because of how cool they look. Like, if you get yourself into a touring model bike, they don't look as good as these. Personally, I mean, everybody has their own taste, but personally, they just don't look as good as these. And you can say, and you can call me dumb for buying a bike because of how it looks, not because of the ergonomics. But then again, it's my money, and I did what I want with it, so. But the main thing I wanted to really discuss was a lot of people are not doubting, but really shitting on Supersports for their bad ergonomics. And if you think about it, they're not bad ergonomics, they're just bad for your body. Like, this is like the best position your body could probably be in to handle all the curves and to just be the fastest bike on the street, which is what they're meant for. So when I say Supersport, I'm pretty much just referring to the bikes like the R1, the CBR 1000RR, the R6, CBR 600RR, ZX6R, you know, stuff like that, where you have a really aggressive seat position and it's really just meant for track. Like, these bikes are track, like, I don't want to be a bullshitter or nothing, but these bikes are just meant for the track. Like, they were pretty much made and designed to be on a track. And if you don't believe that, then you should look at the ergonomics, and you should look up everybody who rides them. Most people buy them to be track bikes. So now that I discussed kind of like the background and everything, kind of got you guys up to speed on like a Supersport and what I'm referring to and stuff. The main cons, I guess the main couple cons I would like to point out about these bikes, although they're really sporty, they're not meant to be on for long rides. They're not a cruiser, obviously. A lot of people really don't talk about other things that make a good daily. So if you think about it, so these bikes come with a 3-gallon tank. It's 3 point something. I'll put it on screen, whatever mine is in particular. A lot of sport bikes are around the same, about 3, you know, or so. These bikes come with a 3-gallon fuel tank or so, and you know, that can get you, depending on how much you ride and how decent you are of a rider and how much of an asshole you're not, like me. But yeah, these bikes are really fuel efficient for how much power you can get them out. Like, most of the time when I fill up, I'm getting about above 38 or so, or above 40, I think, miles per gallon, which if you're constantly redlining this thing, you can get way more than 40 miles per gallon on these. Way more. So with that being said, they get really good gas mileage for how fun they are. I mean, yes, there are a lot of other bikes that get better gas mileage, above 50 and stuff. Funny enough, the Honda Navi, which is like a super small, I think it's like 100 and something cc bike. I'll put it on screen. Those actually get 110 miles per gallon. Isn't that insane? With less than 1 gallon fuel tank, which is, to me, I was insane when I found that out. But yeah, I mean, the advantage of dailying, there's not really an advantage of dailying a Supersport per se. There's not really anywhere to put any of your stuff. But there is a lot of ways around what makes a Supersport a bad daily. So as I mentioned, if you're uncomfortable with your back, you can get, you know, clip-on risers to increase your back and stuff to make them up higher. It doesn't come out of the box a daily, but I mean, right now my ergonomics are stock and I don't have a problem. But like, if you're a little older or whatever, even if you are younger and you just don't like being in this position for a decent amount of time, then it might not work for you. That's also why they make touring bikes. They make touring bikes because they're meant for longer drives, or they're meant to be driven every day, longer rides, you know? So just because something's made to be that long doesn't mean you always have to go with a touring bike if you want a daily. And take it from me, I'm on this bike right now, which currently has broken fork seals, so I literally have no front forks pretty much. So every bump I hit is that much worse. And I rode on this bike for a whole year with no broken fork seals. So that's definitely the worst it gets. And speaking from experience, I'm gonna fix my fork seal soon because it's really bad now. So, and yeah, if I can ride on broken fork seals every day to work, I'm pretty sure you guys can tolerate a Supersport. You know, so what makes these things really different than a touring bike is like I said, it just has that sporty, throaty feel to it that make you want to redline it every chance you get, which can be really a good or a bad thing. Speaking from examples, if you're gonna be more tempted to redline this thing and get it into, you know, maxed out every gear, I'd like to warn you guys that tickets can add up pretty quick. So make sure you're not being an idiot out there, and if you are gonna speed, make sure you do it on a closed course. Don't just be hitting 130 on a daily basis, even though I know you want to. I would like to too, but it's just not ideal, especially for how much tickets are nowadays and how much trouble you can get on these things. And then more specs about these. I mean, sport bikes, they also have a really high, depends what you get, obviously. Sport bikes have a really high miles per hour top end. Like, these things top out at 160 miles per hour. Just think about that right now. 160 miles per hour on a 400-pound bike. That's freaking insane, dude. Like, I would not say I've ever gone that fast, but if you ever do go that fast, you are chances of surviving in a crash are pretty slim to none. So, like I said, be safe out there. Don't be doing stupid shit all the time. And if you are doing stupid shit, make sure you know what you're doing, and you're doing it on a closed course, obviously. I guess the main point of this video was just to kind of share my daily experience with a Supersport. And really, this bike has been amazing. Daily wise, long drive wise, like, if you can get past the bad ergonomics, I don't want to keep saying the bad ergonomics because it's really not. It's just not daily or long ride ergonomics. Really, these bikes are just really cool, and it's one of those bikes where you could daily and then take to the track. Like, it's one of those kind of deals where I think is really cool how you can just daily these and take them to the track. It's like the ultimate multi-purpose bike. I know there's gonna be a lot of comments being like, why would you daily a Supersport when you can just buy something like an R6S where the handlebars are raised and you're better ergonomics? I'm not saying you can't. You can. There's, like I said, there's a lot of companies like Yamaha are making other bikes designed towards longer rides and stuff like that. So if that's something that you want, look into it, you know. But from my perspective, if you guys want a Supersport as a daily, some things you should think about, you know, because I feel like I'm in the same boat as a lot of people are, where they don't want to buy a Supersport because they don't want this kind of ergonomics. Everyone told me, if you buy this, you're not going to like riding it for more than 10-15 minutes at a time. And although that may be true in some cases, once you get used to it, it's a whole lot better. Like, if you only ride this bike once a month or once every 3 weeks, you're not going to get used to the ergonomics. And yeah, it's going to be really shitty on your back and your butt and your legs. It's actually surprising a lot of leg strength that people don't think about. It requires a lot of different muscles you don't use every day to keep you on this bike and keep you secured. But like I said, if I were to do it again, I don't know for certain if I would daily this bike. I'm gonna be 100% honest. If I were the average person and somebody asked me what should I daily, what motorcycle should I buy to daily, I would tell them something like an MT-07, you know, something like that, something with better body ergonomics. That way you can actually have a comfortable ride no matter when you ride. But yeah, that's just kind of my opinion on things. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I would appreciate it. But it's been a blast riding today, and hopefully get out riding a lot more when the weather picks up. I have a lot more videos planned for the bike, so hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, make sure you guys leave a comment below. Let me know if I missed anything, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Adios, motherfuckers. Take care.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me.